Before the world knew banks, before Europe understood the power of finance, there was a brotherhood cloaked in white, marked with a blood-red cross. They were warriors, monks, and guardians of secrets. They were the Knights Templar. It began in 1119, when 9 knights swore to protect pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land. But what started as a humble vow soon spiraled into something far greater. Within decades, the Templars became the most feared military order in Christendom, and the richest. Their genius was not only in battle, but in money. They invented a system that allowed a pilgrim to deposit gold in Paris and withdraw it safely in Jerusalem. No bandit could steal what was written in their coded parchments. Kings trusted them, nobles depended on them, merchants relied on them, and with every transaction, the Templars grew stronger. By the 13th century, their empire stretched across Europe. Castles, vineyards, farms, fleets of ships, all under their command. Chroniclers whispered that their treasure rivaled the wealth of monarchs. By today's measure, their holdings would exceed $20 billion. But power breeds enemies, and enemies wait for weakness. King Philip IV of France was drowning in debt to the Templars. Their fortune tempted him, their influence threatened him. He plotted in silence, waiting for the moment to strike. That moment came on a cursed day. Friday, October 13th, 1307. At dawn, soldiers stormed Templar commanderies across France. Thousands of knights were dragged from their beds, accused of heresy, blasphemy, and corruption. Torture forced confessions. The Pope, pressured by Philip, dissolved the order. Their lands were seized, their leaders executed. Grand Master Jacques de Molay, defiant to the end, was burned alive in 1314. As flames consumed him, he cursed the king and the Pope, vowing they would meet him before God within the year. History records that both men died soon after. But while their enemies celebrated, one question haunted Europe. Where was the treasure? The vaults that should have been overflowing with gold were empty. Records spoke of fleets of Templar ships vanishing from the port of La Rochelle on the eve of the arrests. No one knew where they sailed. No one knew what they carried. Some whispered the ships crossed the seas, carrying the fortune to lands unknown. Others believed the gold was hidden in secret vaults beneath Paris, or buried in remote castles guarded by silence. The Templars had fallen, but their treasure had vanished, swallowed by shadows, erased from history. And so began a mystery that has endured for more than 7 centuries. A mystery worth billions, a mystery that refuses to die. The fall of the Knights Templar was swift, brutal, and absolute. But their treasure, the fortune worth billions in today's measure, simply vanished. And with its disappearance, Europe was left with a question that has echoed for more than 7 centuries. Where did the Templar gold go? Theories abound, each more mysterious than the last. First theory is Scotland's secret alliance. Some historians believe the treasure sailed north, carried by the Templar fleet that vanished from La Rochelle. In Scotland, Robert the Bruce had been excommunicated by the Pope, leaving him desperate for allies. Legends claim the Templars found refuge with him, and in return fought alongside his army at the Battle of Bannockburn in 1314. Could their gold have seeded the rise of Scottish power, and later, the enigmatic traditions of Freemasonry? The second theory is Portugal's hidden transformation. Others argue the treasure was absorbed into the Knights of Christ, a successor order in Portugal. This order later sponsored explorers like Vasco da Gama and Christopher Columbus. If true, the Templar fortune may have funded the Age of Discovery itself, propelling ships across oceans and rewriting the map of the world. Theory 3 is across the Atlantic. A more adventurous theory suggests the Templars crossed the ocean centuries before Columbus. Oak Island in Nova Scotia is often linked to this legend. Strange shafts, tunnels, and markings discovered there have fueled speculation that the Templar treasure lies buried beneath its soil. Could the vanished fleet have carried gold to the New World, leaving behind clues that still haunt treasure hunters today? Theory 4 is hidden vaults beneath Europe. Some believe the treasure never left France. Rumors speak of secret chambers beneath Paris, ancient castles guarding silent vaults, or even hidden caches beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. If the Templars truly concealed their wealth, it may still lie untouched, waiting for discovery. But perhaps the greatest twist is this: maybe the treasure was never gold at all. Some argue the Templars' true wealth lay in knowledge, sacred relics, secret documents, or even the fabled Holy Grail. If so, their disappearance was not about coins and jewels, but about protecting truths too dangerous to reveal. Centuries of searching have yielded no definitive proof. Treasure hunters have dug, historians have speculated, and conspiracy theorists have woven endless tales. Yet the mystery endures, unsolved, unbroken. The Knights Templar remain symbols of secrecy, power, and betrayal. Their story is not just about riches lost, but about ambition crushed, legends born, and mysteries that refuse to die. And so, the question lingers, haunting every seeker of truth. Where is the Templar gold? Perhaps buried beneath forgotten ruins. Perhaps scattered across continents. Or perhaps it was never meant to be found. The $20 billion mystery remains unsolved, and maybe that is why it continues to fascinate us. Because some treasures are not meant to be uncovered, but to live forever in the shadows of history.